Hello, Gemini. We're here for a reading. I I didn't want to get up to get like a smudge stick, so I've been using a cinnamon stick, which you can use to smudge. I don't know why the smell of this feels very nostalgic. Like, I like the smell of it, but I don't smudge with cinnamon very often, and I don't know why this smell. Do you like cinnamon? Is that why I'm telling you this? Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm doing readings again. I've been gone for a little while. I wanted to come back sooner. Honestly, life has just been crazy for me. And I do tarot readings, but I'm also a shaman. And I study the occult. I'm an occult practitioner. So sometimes when I'm dealing with the occult, I do chaos magic. So I have to be careful about posting on here sometimes. While I'm in that kind of like study and experiment mode, because it creates a lot of, for lack of a better word, chaos in my life. I try to show up here when I'm in a good state mentally, and I'm don't have any weird occult things going on, if that makes sense. I do take personal readings. I'm accepting new clients. I'm not using Rachel at This Heart's Voyage email anymore. I've been having issues with that email for a long time. I'll put it in my bio, the drop down thing. This Heart's Voyage at gmail.com is what I'm using now. Sorry guys. I know a lot of people try to send me emails and they bounce back. I'm so sorry. I don't have any control over it. Google support is ran by AI now, and if you have a problem that is not able to be resolved through AI, I can't find. If you know a way that I can actually talk to a support person from Google, I would really appreciate that. I don't know. I'm still working on getting my website back up and running. I'm switching over different platforms. It's a mess right now. I do have Etsy though, and I'll be releasing the candles soon. You guys have a longer intro than most people, but I feel that I might have some return viewers in this that had questions. Anyways, we'll get started with your reading. Sorry, Gemini. Didn't mean to make you wait a few minutes. All right, your career is in focus, your public image. Why? What's going on, Gemini? Gemini rising, moon, Venus, Mars, Mercury. If you're a Gemini sun, I highly recommend you looking at some of your others. The sun readings will resonate, but not as specifically as a rising would. Rising is going to be the best reading for you. With sun readings, it's going to be something that kind of resonates, but it's like I'm already past that, because sun is your soul. It's going to resonate. Your physical is your rising, so that's your physical reality. Your rising sign would be your best bet. Anyways, Gemini. All right, there is, let me see, hold on, let me get into this energy. Okay, I am getting Aries, Leo, Capricorn, and Pisces for you. Something's going on in your career or your public image, because I'm getting a 10th house. There's some sort of like the sun in the 10th. There's some sort of light shining on your career. Something's going on in your career right now, but there's an energy here where, Gemini, you might have been, it's impulsiveness and then lust coming out. There's an energy where you might be getting distracted from work with your dating life, because appreciation is coming out. 5th house is dating. And then bottom of the deck, submission, drama. I get you need to channel your energy into work. There's too much energy going into your dating life, and this is like impulsiveness, lust, appreciation is coming out, but you're putting yourself in a cage. There's some sort of like subconscious energy here where you sabotage yourself. I get you could have got a lot further. There's a joke online where I'm sorry, I don't remember where exactly this came from. It's one of those memes that somebody probably like tweeted it or said it, and then it got spread. Where it says like, where would I be without him? And then it's like, I don't know, girl, a lot further in life. That's this energy. I'm sorry, that's this energy. Is like you really need to focus on not only your career, but how you are being perceived by others, because there's an energy here, Gemini. I'm so sorry. There is an energy here where you put too much of your focus on like, you make a lot of snap decisions, which I don't think is the worst thing, but it's your snap decisions in form of lust. So there's an energy here where if it's not you being lustful, it's you wanting to be perceived in a lustful manner. It's an energy of like it's not even so much romance. It's like you are requiring at this time, where you have been, a lot of attention. You want a lot of sexual attention. It's like you want to like, maybe even to the point that you might be doing glamour magic or interested in glamour magic. I could teach you guys some glamour magic, but there's a caveat with that. You have to be very aware. It's like a walk before you run sort of thing with glamour magic. That's why I pulled back on selling glamour magic. But I can teach you guys that if you're interested. Let me know in the comments. I think it's fun, but there's steps to it. It's not one of those things like protection is one of those. If you're gonna dabble in magic, protection is the easiest one to start with. It's the smartest one to start with. Glamour magic, going full force on glamour magic when you're not looking at, especially protecting yourself, is not a good thing. It's a bad thing. It will attract glamour magic. Out of any form of magic, attracts the most evil eye, will attract spiritual attacks to you, and if you don't know how to handle it, you're going to end up in a bad situation. So that's kind of this energy here. Not that you're doing magic, but you might be. A lot of people subconsciously, and this is something that is subconscious for you. And drama coming out too. There's an energy here. I'm just gonna be real with you, Gemini. Don't take this as a personal attack, okay? I don't even have to know that you watch this, you know? I get an energy here that this is subconscious for you. You like a lot of attention. You like to be the center of attention, but it's to the point now. And again, I say again as if you've watched all my other readings, the way that tarot works is I read into your energy currently, and it is a possible future. So this is kind of a warning for you. This is because 12th house is your subconscious, and like the submission here, and with the Venus too. It's an energy here where this is, I don't think that you're like a big whore trying to like, have big whore fest, have all the attention on you. I don't get that you're doing this on purpose. I get that this is something that's subconscious, and we might get into the subconscious aspect of it, but it's just something to think about, be aware about. Just think about it. This might not even be your reading, just think on it. There's an energy here where it's like you want to be appreciated by other people. You want to be seen by others. You might have grown up in a family where you felt invisible and people weren't giving you attention. So you tend to seek attention from others. And the easiest form of attention that you have received, like obviously you're a very attractive person, maybe you get a lot of lustful energy, and that's just what you attract, and you've learned how to play into that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think you have to play your hand in life. I think that some people are born into rich families and they, become Nepo babies, and they form careers off of their parents, There's people that are born extremely intelligent. They obviously go into high-paying careers that require them to use that brain power, and they find success that way. I think if you're a hot person trying to seem less hot to others, that doesn't help anybody. Like, use what God gave you, is how I feel. You might even want to try working with Venus. Look into working with Venus. I get some Venusian energy for you for sure. But I get sometimes you make bad choices here because, and see, what's interesting is the bird in the cage is coming up twice. It's an energy of you're putting yourself in a cage. They're saying lockdown. There's some sort of energy in Seven of Swords. I get that, Gemini, you might not even be aware that you're doing this to yourself. It's to the point that, like, your career is stalling, or people are seeing you as like kind of dumb, ditzy, you know, not giving you chances that they should in your career. Maybe you're stuck in a position that you want to get out of, and it's because you have learned throughout your childhood, this is something that you do where you, I don't necessarily get that it's because the chameleon here too. I get you, it's like a safety thing for you, if that makes sense. But it's weird because, but that's, a lot of times that's how subconscious behaviors work. You know, it's like what you're doing is counterintuitive to what you want, but this is the behavior that you feel most comfortable and safe in. This is somebody that attracts attention and uses that attention to get what they want, but I'm getting here that you're being too impulsive with it, and the appreciation that you're receiving is not always good. It's more lustful attention, and it's creating drama in your life, or it will, especially in the dating sphere. This is like you attract a lot of attention and you might be very flirty and play into it, but if you get into a relationship, like your partner might find your behavior like it's going to cause issues in your relationships. It's going to cause issues with your friends if you're overly flirty, and this is something that you do without really thinking. Maybe, you know, you're in your head, you're just being nice, but it comes across as you flirting with your friends' partners. You get what I'm saying? It's an energy here of the way that you're being perceived by others. You have a tendency to play the vixen here, and you need to be careful because people aren't going to take you as seriously as they should, and you're putting yourself in a box. And you might even be attracting some enemies without you knowing it, because like I was talking about earlier, glamour magic is something that attracts a lot of spiritual attacks. It attracts a lot of evil eye because we live in a society where your attractiveness is currency. When you see somebody in a professional sphere and one person is disheveled and not taking care of themselves and looks a mess, and the other person is put together and, you know, they have a nice outfit, their hair is done, they smell good, they look good, you tend to migrate towards the more attractive person just because we assume appearance is status. People that don't take care of themselves physically tend to, you know, people don't, I don't know. I was going to say don't give them as many chances, but I really think that depends. Because there's been a lot of times in my life that I have intentionally not wore makeup or tried to look pretty at work because I knew the prettier I looked, the more negative attention I got. And people took me more serious when I was more not as attractive, if that makes sense. I mean, it really depends. But in general, we live in a society where people are very concerned with their appearance. And I think that, you know, who cares? I think you should be, to a certain extent. You should take pride in your appearance, take care of yourself. That doesn't mean you have to conform to what society tells you should look like. But I do think when I feel good, I take care of myself, and when I take care of myself, I feel good. Usually if I'm looking disheveled, it's because I'm like not in a good headspace, you know? Anyways, that's this sort of energy. And with the Seven of Swords coming out, I get that you're not even recognizing it. You don't know, because this is Two of Wands, you don't know what to do with your life. You don't know which way to go. because you're putting yourself in this box. And I get there's an energy of like with submission, there's an energy of people doing power plays with you and you kind of just like letting them win. Yeah, I get that you are in the public eye, or that you're going to be, you're meant to be. I also get that your friendships are really important to you. So this might be hurtful for you to hear, and I hope that you don't take this the wrong way, but I do think that you have to be conscious of that. If you are somebody that's attractive and you do attract a lot of attention, if you have friends that are partnered, to be conscious of that, and conscious not to, to have strong boundaries with people, and to be careful who you're flirty with, because some people are flirty by nature, and some people take flirty as like, invitation for disrespect, or invitation to take advantage of you. Yeah, the devil coming out as I said that, exactly. You need to have some sort of clarity when it comes to these toxic behaviors that you have, Gemini. I say this with the most love. I really hope that you don't take offense to this, and I hope that this is constructive for you. But it's also interesting because the sun and the devil coming out, the devil is Capricorn, which is again sun and Capricorn. It might be that Capricorn season, late December, January, was important for you, or something's going to happen, or it might be the following next year. But look again with this theme throughout your reading of feeling trapped, and that's kind of the devil energy, is being bound, chained. You might be feeling stuck in life. There's an opportunity to move forward. You just have to reignite this passion and what you actually want. Stop feeding into this energy of, you need to be the seductress. I can relate to that, especially with the energy here with the chameleon. Sometimes for me, Gemini, I have a tendency, I have my Venus in the 7th house. So that gives me, I can have Libra energy sometimes, especially in my relationships. So what I mean by that is sometimes I find I like to have harmony in my relationships. So I can, and you're also, I'm a Pisces sun, I'm a mutable sign, so are you. So mutable signs are more flexible. We kind of go with the flow. We can be social chameleons. I have that energy as well, where when I'm around high energy people, sometimes I will amp up my energy, and when I'm around more like studious people, I can get into that energy. I have different aspects of myself, but which is, I feel like that's common sense when you're in a certain crowd. I don't do it as a way to like go with the crowd, blend in. It's just I enjoy harmony. So when I'm not going to take my friends that are homebodies to the club and be mad at them when they can't, keep up. I would just go to the club with my friends that like to go to the club. But I have different aspects of myself, and I will sometimes lean in to different variations of myself with certain people so that we can vibe, because that's truly what I enjoy in my relationships. I enjoy the harmony. If you might have 7th house placements, 7th house is your long-term partnerships, it's marriage. So that would be beneficial for you to know what energy is there, because it will affect your relationships. Anyways, I can relate with that. I have had that issue in dating sometimes, where I will lean into a certain aspect of myself because the person that I'm dealing with is this particular type of person, but then they will misread who I am as a person, a complex individual, as a manic pixie dream girl. I can sometimes come across that way to men that are not as interested in getting to know me, so they will project what they want to see onto me, and I will accidentally play into that just by like wanting to have a good time, and being able to read this person's energy, and knowing how to complement and balance their energy so that we can have fun together. It's not because that's who I am and that's how I am all the time, and I'm not allowed to have different aspects of myself. So I relate with you on that, Gemini, and I don't want you to get in your head about that. But I get here, this is more about reframing your life and how you express yourself as who you want to be going forward. Because knowledge is power, and being conscious of our shortcomings and being conscious of our patterns, especially that are subconscious, really helps you evolve as a person. I get that you are starting to recognize toxic patterns in your life, and it's going to help you move forward, because I get that your partnerships are, and friendships, I mean friendships when I say this, because I get that you are pulling away from, you might be like a relationship girl, a relationship guy, you've just constantly molding and changing yourself to be in a relationship because you're more comfortable being in a relationship. And now you're starting to recognize that you want to be your own person, but it's a scary process, because as you start to pull away from others, you're like, okay, what aspect is actually me? What parts of my personality are me? And what parts of my personality are exacerbated in my life because I wanted to get along with this person? You know, it's like dating somebody that is really into working out, so you start working out a lot, and then when you break up, you're like, wait, am I a gym girl, or am I a yoga girl? Am I Pilates, or do I want to go running? It's that sort of energy. It's I hope you get what I'm saying. It's not so much that like you're a big dumb whore and nobody likes you. That's not the energy I'm picking up on. It's that people are perceiving you as more of like a bimbo sort of thing, or somebody. If it's not that, it's people feel that you would choose a hookup, a sex pursuit over your friendships. So it's an energy of people in the public eye. There is some resistance. Yeah. People are starting to look at you in a particular light. People are looking at you like somebody that doesn't care as much about your career. You're just focused on sex, basically, to be honest with you. And Gemini, this might not be your reading, okay? It might not be your reading. It might be somebody around you, you know? Who knows? Again, let's pull away from sun sign. Yeah, I also get, Gemini, you've been trying, and that's the thing, is the Magician is Mercury. That's your ruling planet. You're a very powerful manifester as a Gemini, but it's like the relationship that you want isn't coming towards you. There might even be somebody in your life that wants to come towards you, but they hold back because there's an energy here where you kind of seem like, it's not player. It's more so like promiscuous. You're seen as promiscuous. You might be seen as the guy or girl. Your friends don't want to leave their partner around. People feel like you, and it might even be that like you've been in a relationship, but this is how you're being perceived. You might need to pull back on being so flirty, okay? I'm so sorry. I'm I would rather be honest with you. I'm not going to be one of those readers that, you know, everybody loves and adores you. I'm just going to tell you the truth here. I don't get that's who you are. I get that this is something that you learned in order to feel safe and fit in. You are somebody that you might leaky boundaries is what I'm hearing. You need to have stronger boundaries with others. There is a major shakeup that's coming for you, and you're gonna learn the truth here. Somebody's gonna speak the truth to you. What is this? What is this Page of Swords coming through? Oh God. What? Oh my God, these readings. What the hell? Gemini, what have you been up to? Yeah. Yeah, you've got to change this. You need to focus on work right now. The Alchemist. You can use alchemy to change this. Pull back on dating. And if you are in a relationship dating somebody already, just be mindful. Don't be flirty. I don't want to tell you not to be who you are. If you're a flirty person, you're a flirty person, but you have to, I mean, there are implications. There are things that go along with that. If you're flirty with everybody, people might see you as promiscuous. People might see you as untrustworthy. People might not want to partner with you business-wise because they feel like you're going to not show up to an important work meeting because you were out partying and sleeping around the night before. This is like a party girl, party guy energy. And I get that you are putting yourself in a box and you are being received in a negative light. 6 of Wands in reverse. 7 of Cups. If you continue to go down this route, Gemini, it's going to hurt you substantially. Nothing is too far gone. Everything can be turned around. The sun is here. 5 of Cups. You have to recognize the way that you've done, the way that you've behaved in the past. You can't continue down this route. You have to be more conscious of the way that you're showing up for others. And for some of you, you're not showing up at all. Knight of Swords in reverse. Knight of Swords is Gemini in reverse. Yeah, I get that you might notice people are pulling away from you lately. People aren't as close to you as they once were. I'm sorry, Gemini, this isn't the best reading either. I mean, I don't get it's your fault. Some of you, are you a manipulative person, or do you have somebody manipulative in your life? Can I get more information? Can we find some sort of, I don't want to leave it like that. Yeah. This is my deck. I made this deck. I was going to sell these and I decided not to because at the time I was dealing with a lot of like copycat, people stealing my work and not crediting me. So at the time I was like, I'm not going to bring more of that upon myself. I might release Oracle deck though. I might. But this is mine. Yeah, you're wasting your time. Stop with the, like, for some of you, it's like a hookup situation. Yeah, make good choices. If you continue down this route, there's an energy of like you might even contract an STD. You need to focus on work right now. That's what I was saying. Focus on work. That you need to use alchemy. Channel this like sexual energy that it might not even be that you are giving this out, it's what you're receiving. Channel that energy into work, because right now you don't have the best reputation, or this is the road that you're heading. And I'm sorry, I don't mean for this to be negative. I'm just going to be honest with you. If this isn't you, it might be somebody that you're dealing with. This behavior is subconscious. It's something that they're doing to feel safe and accepted in their relationships. There might be some sexual trauma there. I don't want to get down that. This has already been a long reading, but be conscious, Gemini, if this is resonating. Don't blame yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Just the nice thing about like life is that you can really reinvent yourself at any time. pull back from this behavior, stop going out as much, and focus on your career. There's an energy here where, especially like anytime there's a lot of energy coming at you, it's a great time to use alchemy. This is something that I do in my personal life. It's something that I study the occult. This is stuff that I could teach. Potentially I could teach you guys ways to do this. But anytime you have a lot of negative energy coming at you, it's actually a blessing if you learn how to use alchemy, because you can use evil eye, you can use spiritual attacks. That's another thing that I've kind of pulled back from my products a lot, which they're still available on Etsy. My oils, I don't have my candles out right now. It's just with the war going on, I saw that a lot of these packaging companies are going to be raising their prices because gas prices are so high. It's just one of those things that, like, I'm always concerned about ethics. I'm always concerned about my environmental footprint. So there's stuff going on behind the scenes that causes me to pause and have concern. And if you want a custom candle, you can just reach out to me. I do custom orders all the time. Anytime you have a lot of negative energy coming towards you, it is so much easier to take that energy and redirect it than to create it on your own. So using like return to sender spells, sometimes if you are dealing with somebody that is throwing negative spell work at you, a lot of times those are people that are not well mentally. They're not well. And I have been around people like that. I've been around people that do these sort of things. A lot of them are narcissistic, and they live in an altered reality where everybody's out to get them. So when you do return to sender spells on somebody that's doing throwing dark energy at you, a lot of times they will perceive that as you doing work on them. So it just tends to feed into it. So it is beneficial if you are somebody that is just magnetic and does have a lot of attention on you and does attract a lot of attention from the opposite sex. I think, like I was saying earlier in the reading, I think that that's something that can be used. I think that's something that can benefit you. You just have to know how to direct the energy correctly, because you don't want to, unless you're into that, unless you like to be the villain, and unless some people do, and I think that's a lot of people sending you negative energy. It can be transmuted. It's can be difficult depending, because this is an energy of your friends not trusting you. You might be struggling to find work. You might be struggling at work. A lot of people are just looking at you like you're some sort of like playboy, playgirl. You're a floozy. You're not serious. You can't be trusted. That's the energy I'm getting, Gemini. I don't get that that's who you are. I get that that's the energy that you've been dealt, and you've just played your hand. But there is potential for a lot of growth in your career right now if you can pull back and not play into that energy. And if you are already the target of people, it's jealousy, it's insecurity, but also there's an energy here of there might be a reason. There might have been an event that unfolded that is causing you to be looked at this way. The best thing to do is just kind of pull out completely. Seriously, pull back and redirect your attention. If you guys want me to talk a little bit more about alchemy, talk about how to transmute negative energy, I definitely can. I can start doing my lessons again with you guys. If you're interested, comment and let me know. But yeah, Gemini, it's just a warning. It's not a definite, this is definitely going to unfold, everybody hates you sort of thing. Please don't take it that way. It's just, that's the energy. And if that isn't, this is your person you're dealing with, I wouldn't deal with this person right now. If you're a cross watcher and this is the Gemini that you're dealing with, I don't get that that's who they are in their spirit and their soul. This is just the pattern that they've had. And I would, I, if this is somebody you're interested in, I wouldn't deal with them right now. They need to focus on their career. The Gemini doesn't really need to be dating right now. I don't think it's beneficial for anybody. Okay, it's long enough reading. I'm sorry that came out, but somebody needed to hear it. Love you all. See you soon. Bye.